Hello, boys and girls.
Hello, all.
What's popping?
I don't feel great.
Why?
I don't know, I'm ill.
Oh, what happened to you?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. Actually, I don't know what happened. I'm not feeling. I woke up with a cough and like a weird. I don't know.
yeah, I don't.
My
like
throat is
those
scratching
days. Me. Yeah, I don't. I mean, to be honest, there's so many things that go wrong with my body on a general week-to-week basis that, for the most part, I discount the small things. But like 2 days ago, I had a headache the whole day. It has never, like, I'm not a migraine girly. You know that babes that always have headache?
No, I don't, but please feel free to continue.
You don't have friends that always have headache? Wow, I really do. Like, they always have cocotamol. Do you know cocotamol?
I don't, fake me.
You don't know cocotamol?
I don't know coco the mom.
Or what's the other one that they also have? People who have migraines have like heavy duty meds for like headaches. Anyway, Bele, sorry about that.
Yeah. And you know, like when you're ill and all things take for granted. So I haven't been able to sleep with my air conditioning.
Oh, wow.
So every day I'm just like, baby, I miss you so much. To my AC.
I can't, like, even when I have a cold, I brave the AC.
No, I tried, but
dynamic.
I tried, but then it now brought on a cough.
Yeah, so you can't.
So I can't. I feel so bad. So
fans are worse.
Yes, I've been trying all sorts. Yeah. I feel so sorry for myself. So now my new thing is I'll leave my room for 30 minutes, put them on.
Then go back
in and put it on. So the room is chilled.
Yeah.
It's such a terrible life to live. I sound like I have a friend who, whenever I make a complaint, no matter how valid it is, he just say, Kai, the rich also cry. No matter how important what I'm talking about is, he'd be like, Kai. First of all, I'm not rich, so what the hell are you talking about? But the way he says it always makes me feel better. Yeah. Because it makes me remember that actually your life is not that bad. It can suck in the moment, but it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Have you been up to anything exciting?
Recently, no.
No?
Unless you consider like chasing a container yesterday till 11:30 p.m. exciting, which it is.
Did you find it?
Yes.
That's good.
It wasn't lost. The driver was just on an insane tangent, actually.
That's really good. I don't know when this episode is coming out. At this point, fake a minute. Like, I feel like a machine.
See, I just feel like there's so many episodes.
These 2 episodes a week can never ever click. You guys, let me tell you something.
Look, I honestly love you.
Never,
I feel
ever.
Like the quality of like my soul is like, I feel like I'm on empty. Everything is just, I don't have anything to say. There's nothing I've ever had to say in my life.
I can't know.
I just don't even know what to say. There's not even enough time to have something interesting happening. Do you get like, so no. It's just, how many 2 minutes ago I was here?
We've tried.
And now we're back here again. We'll be back here. So in which time was I going to do something?
I have activities.
I was even meant to go to a wedding yesterday. I said to myself.
Really? Was it a wedding on the mainland or there?
I don't even know. Let me not lie to you. That's even the crux of the issue. Where I was like, the way I'm not going is so dramatic that I wanted to go to a wedding. In order to like be exciting, because like, I was telling you, Leila called me and she was like, we're not actually exciting enough. She was like, as single ladies, spinsters, we have to be doing things. She was like, let me tell you what we should not be doing every time. Hanging out inside. We have to be
but
up
that's so much fun.
And she was like, here's the thing. Even when we're out, we look like people who don't want to talk to you. And we also go out. The last time, because she gave an example, last time me and Lila were out, I wore, whatever. I just wore jeans and a top. Lila wore like an Adire 2-piece, like a 30+ Adire. We don't get me wrong, we had time of our lives. But again,
it wasn't giving the impression that you're open.
No, and the funny thing is,
that was what I was about to say.
They were still moving to us.
So people still move to you. So
that. And that's not even why I want to be up. But she was like, see, let's just know. Because I was saying, what should I do? So before you mention anybody's house, let's step out. On Thursday, I was supposed to go. Have you been to this RF Garden thing, the Fuji thing?
No.
I really want to go.
I think we should host it one day.
The thing is, I've never been, so I don't even know what it's all about.
I feel like we should host it one day.
I think a Fuji night will really fit us.
Yeah, and I said, Fuji nights would bang.
So I really wanted to go to that. Obviously, 11:30 p.m. a container, By the time I got back, I was like, nope, no way. So that's up next week. And then, so this Friday night. So like...
Yeah, fair enough.
I feel like something should happen. I'm not sure what.
Yeah. I've only been like really nosy on socials and planning our shows. That's all Fake Emi and I've been doing.
Yeah, I haven't even had enough time to be that nosy. Only like a bit. What I love is I have nosy enough friends where things always reach me at the end of the day.
That's all I've been doing, just checking out socials. Again, I don't know when this is coming out, but today, the day we're recording this, is Kai Collective's 8th birthday.
Happy birthday, really Kai. Cool. Kai girlies for
Kai
life.
Girlies for life, man.
Always a Kai girlie. I actually remember when Kai started, like the red and white trousers. What else was in that?
That was like the standout piece from that collection.
And I remember she even did a different. Do you remember? I don't remember the name of the brand. She did a different brand with like these T-shirts that were very detailed that had like stuff coming out of them. I don't remember what that was called, but let's run that back.
Yeah.
But yeah, OG Gaia. Listen, wow,
very fantastic.
What's its time?
And it's such a testament.
I remember like the B dress early that year.
Yes.
Yeah. No, we've enjoyed. Kai has given us
looks.
A lot of like moments. A lot of looks.
And the story, I think to me, like everybody talks about the journey, blah, 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 blah. But it hasn't been easy. It's always fun to follow people when they're winning. I don't think she made money for like 4 years. Like that. Yeah. They weren't in profits for like a really long time.
It always just looks like it's after everything.
It's when you succeed.
Everything has gone big when you have like a hit
when you
or
succeed.
Whatever. Yeah, for sure. That it just feels. But yeah,
exciting. And this reminds me of there was somebody I wanted us to talk to, an Olympian, but they didn't win, right? And I wonder, like, I think those things are important.
They are,
because regardless, those are like. Especially with track and field, that gets a lot of attention. Literally, you are the fastest in your country. You are in the not top 10%, not top 1%. You are literally at the peak of athleticism, right? And you still maintain those records. But going into the Olympics, there is a possibility, like it's not guaranteed that
you're going to win. And also sometimes you see it on their faces. They're like times, or maybe they make a small mistake. It surprises them because they're like, wait,
yes.
Have you been seeing, this is a complete sidebar, but since Snoop Dogg is now a meme page and I follow him religiously, have you been seeing all these videos of, sorry to announce that I did not make...
the best.
Oh my God. Do you know that? So I saw a bunch of swimming ones and a bunch of gymnastics ones.
The diving ones were the best.
You. Do you know that was when you realize that it's not by playing that people are making... The way these people were falling down and doing... And I was like, there's so much... If you imagine all of these people are doing, like, let's just say diving or gymnastics on just I don't know, because it didn't seem like varsity or whatever, just normal school activity things. And so I just started imagining all the levels like you have to go to actually get to like Simone Biles. And then you just be seeing her do something, you'll be talking any. Are you crazy?
Yeah. Even with the athletes, like the runners, like people say stuff like, like maybe someone who's broken records in their country, but they're not familiar, so like they're a new athlete. They'll see something like, this person's time is... So I think the women's record is like 10 point something, 100 meters, right? And someone will say, this one is still on 10.8. She's not serious. I'm like, do you know what's it to run 100 meters in 10 seconds?
Have they ever run?
Are we joking?
100 meters in any? Are you okay?
I think
it's hilarious. But things make me, and then I don't know if you saw this clip of Usain Bolt where they were, when he set the record, he like stopped to look back.
Yeah, he was playing.
So they were asking him, that guy, what, like, I don't know if you can estimate what could have happened in that last 20 meters if you were not just a clown. Guess what? He was not meant to run 100 meters at all.
Really?
This guy was meant to run 400 meters. Who? Usain Bolt. He said that his main event was 200 meters. And then he was also meant to run 400 meters. But then when he got there, he saw how much the 400 meter people were training compared to the 100 meters people. And so he said to his coach that, okay, if I do this race, this boy should come, I win him. we're not registering for this other one. And that was it. And it was just like, fundamentally, he could never have done this in 400.
400 apparently is the hardest.
So he was like, he could never, like, if he did 400 meters, we would not know him. He would have won, but it would have not been. So for him, that whole 100 meters thing, it wasn't
supposed to be that.
It wasn't a thing. He was like, that's why it's always so funny.
Oh, he wasn't benchmarking it, basically.
It was not his event. He was not like, it wasn't part of his life of like, I want to run the 100 meters and win. He was like, 200 meters is my event. But it's just funny because everything that has happened for him is that 100 meters.
Yeah.
So I'm like, see how for some, everything is just... I was like, because he was like, he doesn't even know why he looked back. But when he realized that there's like the space of two bodies behind him and there's nobody there, he was like, cool, no problem. Let's just jog it out.
I really want to talk to someone who like...
Let's get Usain Bolt.
I really want to talk to somebody who... Are you mad?
Okay, but he was on Michelobi's podcast.
Figure do you know who you are? Are you aware of your standing in society?
We are Michelobi of podcast.
Fair enough. We actually are. We are
of podcast
in West Africa.
Okay, so you don't think we can hear Usain Bolt?
I don't think.
Where will we see him?
I wanted to start from a more realistic.
Maybe we should go to Jamaica.
To do what?
All right, boys and girls, this fantastic episode of I Said What I Said is brought to you by AfriChange.
AfriChange is the easiest way to send money across Africa and internationally everywhere.
There are very low fees, no processing time, if any, very tiny, and you get loyalty points the more you use.
Yes. If you are in Nigeria, you can pay your bills in Canada. You can send money to Canada.
Exactly.
You can also pay your school fees in Canada directly from Nigeria in Naira. If you are in Canada, you can send money to many, many countries all over the world.
All right, guys, so get to supporting people who support us. Enjoy AfriChange and enjoy the rest of the episode.
That is africhange.com.
I'm about to say something and I know people are going to get on my ass about it. Do you know that when I went to Barbados, I didn't enjoy it that much?
Really?
I'm telling you. Do you know that I left that place knowing for sure I'm not a beach babe? Like, I've known it in my heart
you really
since.
Are not.
But it was when we left Barbados, I was like, yeah, Jola, you're not a beach babe.
Because I've been trying to push for a group Jamaica holiday. And you guys are giving me
it's
crazy pushback.
It's not happening. Our friendship group is not, like a cityscape type. That group that you want for us to go on that holiday, no. We can't click.
This is a group
we'll fight
that
for sure.
Not agreed on karaoke.
We'll fight for sure. No, we'll do karaoke, but we'll do karaoke when Tolly comes.
We'll fight for sure.
That type of trip where there are not enough events.
Yeah, and we just have to like
we have
hang
to
out.
No. It's not going to bang at all. Lila will not be saying, "Oh, the sun, my skin, sunscreen, my skin." Wale will be like, "What did happen for?" Wale won't. I like everybody just be annoyed. Everybody will just be irritated. Maybe Bolo and Seun will be chill. Maybe.
So John is going to be animating.
No, John is going to be. Look, do you know what? I actually don't want to even think about. We're going to come back with an empty group. Everybody's going to leave that group.
When we go at 30 minutes, we'll use to snap John.
Nah, that nigga is crazy. No, you guys, I know people think we're joking. Whenever we go out, everybody, there's a friend that likes pictures, right? No problem. John, everybody will take a picture of John.
Yeah,
and it's not
only that
he also us individually.
He also wants to see all your pictures that you have of like not him or just like the general. So he can then select what he feels is appropriate for his personal collection. And you're just like, okay, but why will I send you everything?
And he won't let you go. We'll be at the parking lot. John will say, okay, everybody bring out your phone. Are you okay? Is everything okay? People like, no. Okay, I'll drive behind you to your house. You give me. I'm like, are you?
I think we'll fight. I just feel like
we need a city thing.
Yeah, there's a way close friends should not go on holiday because it will actually ruin.
No, but generally, I don't believe in like. I know the type of breaks I like.
Yeah,
I like breaks.
I feel like there's a way you'll plan a holiday that can crack a group of diverse. I know that, for example, if I make an itinerary, all of you are going to tell me to fuck off.
Yes. Yeah, that one I can tell you for sure.
For free. Anything concerning we're waking up at 7:30.
Nah.
We're going to.
Nah. I've learned the type of person I am
Driving
on
to
holiday.
Kinikon tasting. It's two people that are coming max.
Everything needs to be like free rolling.
Yeah.
Like opt in, opt out. Nobody is fighting anybody because of opt in, opt
the
out always.
You then might not get to do all the things.
No problem.
Like
I have
even
no issue.
this London that we're going to, I've saved so many things to
For
do.
who?
Me.
Okay, good.
And people, and you, and people.
No.
Yes, because you said we should do things.
I lied. I lied.
No, we have to
I
do
lied.
things.
I'm learning things.
There's one bar where you paint your flavor. You don't do this.
Can you guys see what I'm working with? Yeah.
You don't do that.
Can you see what I'm working with? I've been trying to learn like Dublin slangs.
Huh?
So far, it's not working. The only thing I've seen there is when they say like for a laugh. You know, when people say for a laugh, they say for a bit of crack. And I feel like that tells you the nature of the country.
You've been learning Dublin.
I've been trying.
Anyway, everywhere we're going, I've been finding things to do.
We have to go and drink Guinness. Even though I'm not a beer babe.
I'll do it if we do the tour. Okay, you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm dealing with? You have to do the tour.
We do?
Yes. Also, there are places from certain movies that I want to visit in Ireland.
What are you talking about?
Yes. There are certain movies that were shot in Ireland that we have to go to the pubs in said movies. I have a list of all these things are there.
Okay, no problem.
All these things are there.
Anyway, this started because I was saying...
In London, what's that Japanese babe? Yoko something.
I'm about to...
There's one...
Yokozuna.
No.
I remember my auntie used to... I have an aunt that used to say, any small thing, I see like Yokozuna.
I feel like there's a big artist, I don't remember her name. Like she does the dots.
Oh, I know. I actually have it in my mind, but exactly. I don't know her name.
She has a new exhibition.
We're going for sure.
Exactly, and a big like infinity wall. Okay, you see now.
No, but you know me.
You see now.
Fake, I mean, you know arts, concerts, and food.
And after that, we'll paint our flavors.
No, I'm so offended.
It's a cocktail bar, but you paint your flavors.
You don't understand, Fake,
on the rim of the glass.
I'm so offended at the fact that I'm not artistic. That I get very worked up when we have to do anything artsy. I guess I'm so annoyed at the fact I'm not good at art that I get worked up. But we definitely need to talk to somebody who has reached the peak of their personal achievement. But like that kind of thing.
I think the Olympics is a great one because you're at the top of your game to be there, and then you can find out that the top of your game is not good enough.
But then also I would like it if they are also somebody whose sport doesn't receive the same sort of funding or public support.
So like the bobsledding babes.
Yeah, like stuff like that, like polo, water polo.
Yeah. Or like, I don't know, the Olympics has super random.
Yeah, because then it's like you are doing all of this really hard work. And even those ones, when they win, there isn't the same.
It's almost neither
they come back on like a Monday.
I feel like even things like, because to be honest, this year is funny because normally I'm there for the track. I was 100% there for the gymnastics.
No, it was amazing this year.
I was 100% there for the gymnastics.
Did you see? There's this babe that did, I think she was German, that did a floor routine with the ball.
Yeah.
Hey!
I was there for the
amazing.
There was nothing else I was there for that was not. And I remember I watched, not the one Rebecca won, the Brazilian. There was one she came second in. I watched it and I was like, me not being a judge, I'm feeling somehow for Simone. She might not make it.
That one was close. I was
really very
tired.
much there for the gymnastics. The track,
track and field. I love
it.
Diving. Then there was one. Do you see the Chinese babe that like her dive was so smooth, the water barely like.
I didn't see that.
I need to send it to you. Fake me. I've never seen. You know, this is another thing. I think human beings are so interesting because the Olympics and sports in general are the actual embodiment of if you can't see it, you don't think you can beat. Because somebody does something one year and by the next year, everybody is not like, oh, this is feasible or this is possible. Everybody is able to.
Everybody moves up. So every time there's a record, everybody moves up to the record.
So this babe did like beautiful dives, but I don't know. She hits the water so smoothly. Minimal. Like, I couldn't.
That's crazy.
The crowd went crazy because it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, everybody does all these flips and stuff in the air.
But like, look at your own.
But now you've brought in a new, like, this is now a new thing for people to think about. Like, oh, how do you hit the water so elegantly? Fantastic.
I also deeply enjoyed the shooting guy. That didn't like the guy that just.
But when his money, but
that man that
you
just
can't tell me
in a t-shirt. Let me know, like, is a hired assassin.
You can't tell me otherwise.
Because And the thing is, I also found it hilarious. Not hilarious, but like that there were gadgets.
Always for the eye.
Let me know, like that babe looked cool as hell.
Yeah.
She looked too cool. But I was like, all these eye aiming things. I just said that, but I was like, is that the shooting?
Even there's a pregnant woman that did the archery. Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw that.
Man, I just think what human beings can push their bodies
who's called
to
Fencer
do.
on Instagram, which I think is a phenomenal handle, who's like cool. But he does fencing.
Obviously.
So I was like, that's a bit crazy for you to be fencing and you're a cool person. I find it very random.
Another person that caught my attention, there's this boy, he's Swedish and American. But he represented Sweden. He won he did, I think it's, what's that one? Is it pole? Which one is the one you jump? Pole vault. Oh my God. Phenomenal. And then he's dating one model. Wow. So after the Olympics, I went to follow there. So he's the one, I don't know if you saw it, but basically this guy breaks because that one is very simple, So they've been raising. He breaks the Olympic record, hits the thing and runs straight to his babe.
Yeah, I saw that.
Straight to his babe. Ran straight to his babe.
I also enjoyed the romance at the Olympics. Yeah. It was fun.
And it was so
There was that babe, the black one. And
with her husband who's the Paralympian.
That
Tara. Very cool.
That was very cute.
Very, very cool.
That was very cute.
Hello, boys and girls of the UK and Ireland.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
We, I said what I said, are going to be in Dublin,
Manchester,
and London. Dublin on the 1st of September.
Lovely.
Manchester on the 6th of September.
Absolutely.
And London on the 8th of September.
Period.
We are going to have a fabulous
It's going to be a time. It's going to be a time. It's going to be the best time of your life.
Honestly.
I don't know. Like, honestly, if you've ever been to one of our shows, or even if you haven't been, it's going to be better than all the other shows.
Yep.
Like, better than anything you've ever been to.
MC lit. DJ lit. Games lit.
Everything lit.
Dilemmas lit.
We'll
the discussion
sweet.
Lit. Looking good. Come with your friends.
Babes day, guys day. Everybody is just good
just
looking and great vibe.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lovely time.
I'm going to have a fantastic time.
So please get your tickets. Don't sleep on it. Don't let us announce that the tickets are sold and you'll be saying, oh my God. Oh my God.
I couldn't buy the tickets.
No. Buy your tickets now.
Right now.
Jazz up, rise up. We're going to be there.
And we're so excited. Can't wait to see you. If you knew you would be like that standard of athlete, what sport would you choose?
Gymnastics. What they're doing is insane. No. Let's be sincere. What those people are doing, forget all the beam one. I'm almost, you see what I'm about to say now, that very stupid. Anyway, I'm almost less impressed by like the beam, the like pole, anything that has assistance. You see when they rise from their body floor. As in, just imagine you being on the ground. Then you flip 3, 4. It doesn't make. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It doesn't make sense. It does. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. I think people doing gymnastics are honestly insane. Like, it's just.
I would 100%.
It doesn't make sense.
I would be a runner.
Yeah, I don't think I can hack
either
that.
Hurdle. No, but the point is that, like,
even in this dream world, I don't think I can hack running.
I would 100% be. Do you know why? First of all,
I hate running.
Do you know that that's the only thing I like doing in terms of like.
I hate
working out.
It's such a severe passion.
I love it.
Hate it. It just feels like, okay, where are we going?
I love it. The first thing is a very vain thing. Track and field babes are fucking business.
They're very beautiful.
They're so hot.
And like they run with everything, plus jewelry, nails,
hair.
They're never joking around.
Yeah, so that's the first thing. And then the second thing is I follow like world athletics, right? I just like having it on my page. I like seeing it. There is something insane about physically being able to move
that quickly.
Yeah. See, do you know there are some videos that maybe has 1 million views, 500K is me. Particularly like with relays where you just need to be, everything needs to be
exactly
so sharp. And when there's like particularly when like the ankle leg is crazy fast. And you see there's one, I can't remember which team, it was America obviously, it was Team USA. Dog, there's one video I watched like 10 times.
My favorite one was, I don't remember the one, but when all the Jamaica one. So Johan Blake, you see the relay, it was bloody. Because the America team was very fast as well, but it just seemed as if everybody was playing
Yeah. I don't know. I find people that are able to discipline, because it's not just about being able to wake up and train. It affects everything. How you eat, how you like relax. The guy the pole vault guy, he was showing how even before games or up until big games, even the way he moves, because you can't move around. No, you can't get injured.
You can't.
You can't be like, oh, I was running up the stairs.
I can't imagine you like going out, dancing, and then you
can't drink.
There was one bit, I do remember and she was like, oh, if she has a big event coming up, she doesn't wear heels out, like to dance or whatever.
Yeah, because of her feet.
She doesn't wear heels out because she's just like, because those little things, you're walking on cobblestones,
yeah.
She was like, I can't take the risk.
Yeah, all of them. So it's I really want to talk to like a high level athlete. Yeah, an athlete, a real athlete. Not like a person out there to marry my mother. I say you.
No, he was an athlete.
He said he was an athlete. These people had entered the late 20s. He said he's going to Olympics. Are you serious at all? Every time my mom tells that story, and she always uses to tell me that I should use myself when I'm dating. That I imagine if she didn't marry my dad, I should have been supporting somebody
that is a low-level athlete.
Now they'll be in their 60s. They'll be saying, and I could have gone. I could have made it. Ha!
Yeah, so I really love sports, like documentaries, movies, because the high at the end when like they win or whatever, or even when they lose. I watch all these things on Netflix that are about sports, like all the sports things. So I've watched the quarterback one. I just think it's such an intense life for you to be living, where you have to be operating at such a high scale most of the year. I think it's insane. I don't know that I can survive.
Very few people can. Yeah, and that's the point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that.
Shout out to Namir of Koa, who I bullied into sending
it's so beautiful.
This jumpsuit, which honestly, he shouldn't have done it, because now I have so many ideas. I have so shout out to you. I just want to let you know that I'm coming with my ideas, my color palette for this particular jumpsuit. If you guys see that I've started wearing this every day, I don't want you to shout.
So guys, if you are looking for a low-risk investment you can trust, please have no fears in trying treasury bills, which you can get on Bamboo, Nigerian treasury bills to be specific. So for as low as 10,000 Naira, you can get 18% returns, which is a great idea for those of you who are thinking that, I'm not yet sure of how to like put my money or where to put my money. I'm a bit iffy about some of the stuff that I don't really understand. It's pretty simple. You can do your Googles and get taking control of your future. All right, guys, back to the episode.
Are you ready?
Lovely.
For some dilemmas.
Let's go ahead.
This person is called Crispy. It says, hi, Jolla and FK. I hope this message finds you both very well. I'm really looking forward to your upcoming London show. Last year's performance was absolutely fantastic.
I love that performance.
You see, even though we're not athletes, we also perform. To give you some background, growing up, my dad was financially and physically abusive towards my mother. He was one of those, I'm too learned to do any kind of job. So sat at home and my mom became the sole breadwinner, but did everything in his name, including buying land, etc. As the firstborn daughter, with the photographic memory, I witnessed much of it firsthand. Due to the early 2000s recession in Nigeria, my mom relocated to the UK to support us, but my dad continued to abuse her whenever she returned, leading to their separation. To prevent her from returning to the UK, my dad said we were the reason he was jobless, and so we had to go and live with my uncle, which was an unpleasant experience. He later took us back, but switched us from the private school my mother paid for to a public school, where I had to correct my math teacher's formulas. He also took away my phone and cut off all communication with my mother. My aunt had to sneak into the school on Friday so we could speak to her and get some pocket money. Eventually, my mom took matters into her own hands. She showed up one day at my dad's house from the UK like a scene out of a movie. We didn't take one single item with us. Went straight to Abuja to get our passports, then to Lagos, where we flew to the UK to be with her. Only after we were safe did she call my dad to tell him she had collected her children, a true queen. Despite everything, she managed to raise my siblings and I, working multiple jobs to ensure we were well taken care of. Thanks to her, we're all graduates now and thriving in our respective fields. Fast forward 15 years, I'm getting married. Despite the tumultuous relationship I've had with my father, I've been pressured to invite him to my wedding due to the cultural importance of having a father's presence, especially during the traditional Yoruba ceremony. However, my sperm donor now has the effrontery to ask me for 6 million Naira to process his visa. He hasn't asked how he can be of help to the wedding or ever contributed to mine or my siblings' education or upbringing. My mother, despite everything she's endured, tried to reach out to him to discuss wedding-related matters, but he dismissed her efforts, insisting that he only speaks to me. He started spreading false rumors that I'm on bad terms with my mother because I've moved out and I've invited him, which is completely untrue. She gave her blessing before I invited him and is contributing heavily to my traditional wedding. I'm incredibly, deeply upset and genuinely unsure of what to do without being disrespectful. On one hand, I understand the cultural expectations, but on the other, we don't have any relationship beyond pleasantries, and I feel like his demands are completely unreasonable and unfair given our history. How would you approach this situation? Any advice or perspective you can offer would be greatly appreciated. Best regards, Krispy Kremes.
You disrespect him, but not like in an obvious way. That visa cannot go through. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. We just couldn't get it done. Finish. Tell him that your visa person could not do the visa. So if you outrightly uninvite him, that might cause... Personally, I don't even give a shit. But for you, I don't want it to cause drama. But you see, if that visa doesn't go through, that is something that happens to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing. They don't want him in the country. Whose fault? So what you need to do is you need to take hold of that visa process wholeheartedly. Tell him that, no, don't worry, that you have somebody that does it for 4 million. That the person will run it for you, an immigration person. Let them run the visa and let them do an email. So sorry, sir. Your visa has been rejected. Finish.
Wow.
That is it.
I think I'm of a different opinion. Not far removed from you, but I'm of a different opinion. I think because we've had a dilemma, I've seen a dilemma in many ones you've gotten similar to this, where the issue genuinely is that the person that I call dad has not even been absent, he has been cruel.
Right.
Like, he was not a good person.
Because the first thing you said, and let's not forget, is that this person was both physically and financially abusive to your mom.
To your mom.
This person
He pulled you out of school. He wasn't paying fees for. At a point, he wasn't even taking care of you. He flung you off to his brothers or your uncle to live. Like, he's not done anything that warrants the consideration.
Yeah. The position you're giving him, even out of respect, is
unearned.
Generous.
Yeah, it's unearned. And so I think this is the kind of thing where, and I've seen this in real life as well, where someone's dad has been awful, or to keep up appearances, prospective in-laws really don't give a shit.
They don't, but
and
they
are going out
dance.
of their way to be like, we have to have this person here. And it is putting you under such emotional constraints or restraints. And I think it's 3 things. First, I don't know what kind of personality you have. If my partner, because my partner is not going to be unaware of what is going on, right? If you know how my dad behaved towards me, it is your job to tell your parents that if you push this thing and this girl says she's not doing it again, because we keep insisting some dad or mom must make an appearance, I'm not going to find it funny. Like, the family needs to understand that all you have to do is ask. But where it's going to cost you money or peace of mind, let me tell you something. If you make the mistake of having your dad at your wedding, he's going to embarrass you.
Yes.
I can't
100%. Like, this is not. He's going to
display
you.
that day.
If
he's going to do something.
If you're ready for that, cool.
He's 100%. And once again, it's not like I'm not saying this thing out of turn.
1,000,000%.
I have seen it.
He's going to disgrace you.
The man gets there
for sure
and start saying no.
Because what's going to happen is you've invited him, but he's not going to actually have a place in the wedding. And so he's just going to start forming activity. And he's going to get in the way.
All this one you're saying is too best. I said I've seen the one where the man will now, he'll wait, he knows all the plans, and he gets to, I said, no, him and her mom can't sit down together. They need to figure something else. And you know when you wait till, you don't say it, like, because parents get there earlier. He's made sure it was like we were outside the door, like to dance her in.
To say
he stood up and said, no, he cannot sit down with her here. Like when it's now like clear that what you want to do is embarrass your ex-wife and your child in front of her in-laws.
Yeah.
I think so the first thing is you have to have a conversation with your partner to be like, do you know what? I've actually tried. And we're at the point where to make your family happy, maybe they think less of me and my mom because I don't have my dad or whatever. Meanwhile, the girl you like has nothing to do with that man. So I don't know what kind of conversation you're going to go and have with your parents, because at this point, this thing is wicked.
Yeah.
The second thing is that you have to tell your daddy using a because of Yoruba. You say, daddy, show her right.
Yeah, you have to check.
You have to tell him that.
Check him.
I don't think we're on the same page.
You have to check him in a respectful tone. You insult him.
Yeah, that you just say that he might be no, but this thing you are doing.
That's the best way. Me, I love when people make it very clear, like, especially when the man has not, that if you come, you either behave yourself or you be kicked out.
Yes.
So one of my friends, she did the first dance with her mom. And her dad was there. And I remember the MC. No, it wasn't the MC. It was someone else that was like, oh, wait, isn't that her dad? That the person didn't have context. And so I was like, yeah, but like, he's here more as a, figurehead.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, but no, since he's here. And I was like, she's dancing with her parents. She's dancing with the person that raised her and the person that gave her away. Even the walking down the aisle, she walked with her mother. The man was a guest there. He just sat down quietly, let nobody.
Yes. Like, I just think.
So you have the respect of, sure, you're the father and you're here, lovely. Outside that, you've not earned anything.
And the final thing is, talk to your mom, because, again, something I've also seen it a lot, is the mother being the one to be like, because she's so invested in, I don't want anybody to insult my child, she's literally ready to chest any insult. This one, when it is shocking you because this is even outside of the person's character, but she was like, look, if it's important to your in-laws, and it means that they are going to hold you in a different type of regard, let's do it. I couldn't, I was, when I tell you I was shook, like, it didn't give me like a new level of respect because I was.
You were just like, you can't believe. But I was like, has to happen.
No, I feel like that was one of the. I've had a few times when I'm like, okay, so this is what people mean by like mothers are ready to go through any sort of
just so that
just for their children. Like I was like, wow.
My mom is always begging me that, you see, in order for everything to be okay, because none of us have good character, don't marry people that their in-laws are somehow. Because she's like, the truth is that all these things, all of us will fight.
Yeah, I think
so. It's like that's
why she should talk to her mom.
Yeah, don't end up being with antagonistic people. Like that from afar, you can see that.
Yeah,
okay, you guys are doing a lot.
Because if you ask your mom, it might give you either confidence or an understanding of how to move. Because I remember talking to someone, the person that their mom,
ask her mom how she should.
Yes, like will you be okay if I tell this man that? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, because I remember talking.
I think that's the only person you need to make it okay for. Tell your husband to explain to his family members.
Yes, so I told this friend. After, I was like, did you... And my mom is a bit exasperated with me for not being very super traditional about certain things. I was like, look, you need to buy something really expensive. Like, you need to feel it. Very expensive for your mom. And go and double it for her. It's like, what are you talking about? I said, let me tell you something. I guarantee you that this woman cried blood.
Yeah, after...
As in, she cried blood when she realized that, after all my suffering, this man is still, we're still going to share this glory. Like, she cried. He was like, because they spoke. And I said, was she going to tell you? No? What are you talking about? She's not going to do that.
You're never going to know.
Like, I guarantee you that this thing pained this woman. But because of you, she did it. He was like, yeah, he sure he did. I said, no. You have to go and do this thing.
You have to do it properly.
He did it like, he let it go. I think he just put it at the back of his mind. When he eventually did it, he called me in tears. He was like, the woman burst into tears because she had even chested it that I don't think my child realizes.
So for you to
what's
see
this thing?
For you to recognize it.
And he said when he did, she burst into tears and his siblings were there too. And they were like, oh my, like even they thought, it pained mommy, but it wasn't that deep because of the way she acted like, okay, if that's what they want, so no problem. But the thing apparently pained her. And the fact that her kid went out of his way to be like, thank you, really meant something to her. So if anything, talk to your mom. If your mom says, it's because of you I've respect. No, then let's go. What's that thing that they were saying in Deadpool? Let's fucking go. Is it because of you, I was tempering my behavior. But if you two are, let's fucking go.
Honestly, I really pray that there's no stressful part. No, seriously, because the thing is, all these things, right? What it has potential for that is so irritating is that these are external things. Mm-hmm. They can now ruin the one that is going well for you because of all these other factors.
Yeah. Well, dear. Also, come and give us a hug and kiss after the show.
I think that would be cute.
Thank you for coming in that. Well,
it
has already come. It has already. But you know what's funny is that this episode is
after the show. What I mean is this lady. The rest of you, thank you so much.
I'll try and remember to announce and say, Coach Cream, wherever you are, you know who you are. Please come to this stage. And by that time, it'll be too late.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I'm trying to find one that's non-relationship. As usual, you guys, wow.
You guys, do you know, someone was asking me that, like, how come we always do relationship?
You don't get it.
Let me say something to you. The reason why we always do relationship is because you always write literally 95% of everything that is available for us to read out. So the truth is, and there are lots of dilemmas. There are a lot. So by the time you've read 30, and all of them, you will pick one there that's why sometimes we try and do, okay, parental. You people are not asking about career.
What?
You don't give a shit about money.
Faith.
You don't care. Fashion is not your concern. Look what you, man, woman, love, relationship. That's honestly what is top of mind. And so the question is really, what do we then?
Oh, I have a sibling one.
Love that.
This person is called Family Dynamics. So,
good.
Hi ladies, how are you doing? And hello to our guest, if any. I'm at a point where I resent or hate my brother. I'm currently not talking to him and he's dead to me, and no, it didn't happen overnight. I genuinely think my parents got us to this point. Growing up, my brother was, to a large extent, very physical, and I felt like my parents didn't really do anything about it till what he did either gave me a mark or a scar. I, on the other hand, am very gentle till I can't take it anymore. Earlier this year, he had come to stay with me in my house at school, was extremely untidy and kept moving my things around, and I was tired of picking up after him. On this particular day, he pushed me to my limit, and even though I just told him to always put things back in their rightful place, he started to insult me and I insulted him back, which resulted in him hitting me. I called my dad and he said my brother would never do such. My mom shocked me the most because she said, what if it was my husband that did it? I told her I'd get him arrested and divorce him. I called my dad and he said, after this, I went no contact with my parents. And although my brother is still living with me, we've stopped talking. Moving forward, he called me a prostitute and honestly, I cried. Now my dad thinks everything just needs to go back to normal as per our siblings, and I'm the one trying to ruin the family bond. But I've told my aunts every time they've called that I acknowledge that my mom has a son, but my brother is dead to me. He has never apologized for what he did and is never accountable for what he does except it involves an outsider. Am I doing too much?
You're not doing enough, my sister. You're not doing that. You said that man is still living in your house. Oh, sorry to say, why is that? Since he wants to be Hulk Hogan, you have to release him to fight this Bruce Lee outside. Let him find people on the street.
Do you know what's
to box?
Do you know what's so crazy is that this thing of people's having siblings that are allowed to like beat you.
I'm sorry. I wish my siblings would.
No. What I mean is like in this very specific instance of brothers. Like,
and then also, sorry, what is the corollary of what if it was your husband? I don't get, like,
your mom
you're talking about adults beating themselves. And
your mother has no issue with violence. I just want you to know, first of all.
None.
But this thing I'm talking about is what.
And she also thinks that like it's a forgivable offense.
1, 2, like she thinks a man is allowed to physically discipline a woman. So she thinks your brother is allowed to hit you.
They just think it's not that serious.
Yeah, you're not. Fakemi is right. You're not doing enough. Let me tell you something about when you are on your own. When it comes to certain things, you don't negotiate.
You don't.
It's scary, particularly if you're somebody like you said. You're a very gentle.
Yes,
babe.
and the thing is, it's affecting you. But I promise you, the reason why they still think like they can still be saying to you, "Oh, let everything," is because you stood your ground. But like, for example, that boy is still in your house. I said, what is the reason?
I said you are negotiating.
Let the people that want him collect.
So, for instance, this conversation we're having, you're talking about, okay, you should say sorry.
Yeah.
He needs to go out and come back to a burglary-proof door and lock. Like he's locked.
Saying. If he wants to fight,
his load is outside.
In your area that he
go back to your parents.
Outside. Go back to your parents' house.
No, like you have go back.
I'm a prostitute. Okay, no problem. You're disturbing my clients.
Me and my clients are busy.
Disturbing my clientele in this household. You need to leave.
You need to leave.
Let everybody's mouth be complete.
Your parents
say,
The aunties that are calling you, let them house him.
Host him.
What are we talking about?
Let him go and scatter their own houses. Do you get?
Let him beat their children.
Let him beat their children.
Let him beat them.
They're all cousins. Let them. So for me, honestly, you are trying to like stand up for yourself, which is good, but you're also trying to not rock the boat, and the boat is sinking under you. So personally, I just think you need to. If you're going to draw the line, I think you should draw it completely.
Very, very well.
I think you should that line. Let it be just crystal clear. Let it be crystal clear.
It can't be faint.
Let that boy ball out. Let him go and let him free himself. Because see, he hit you. He is insulting you in ways that are like deeply hurting you, and you're not the type to be fighting back. To be fair, if someone hits you, I don't even suggest that. You're not type to be. You're not trying to be petty or whatever. You just want him to go. So let that boy be fully dead to you. I think he has to leave your house. I don't know that.
He's a danger to you.
I don't know how you living with him is good for you, because you're struggling with the situation and he's taking advantage of it because he's like, okay, you're not talking to me. No problem. What's in the fridge? Do you know what I mean? It's very difficult to stand your ground when you're sharing a roof. I don't know how to explain it. If it's me personally, I'm not telling that my clients said they don't want to see you here.
Yeah, so
they don't see you here anymore. When we're doing prostitution work, you're distracting the whole
That
piece.
is so crazy to me.
I'm sorry.
I remember a day on Twitter, someone brought up this conversation. I think it was Lily. I really like following her. What I like about Lily is she's not she's under no illusions about what it is to be a Nigerian woman specifically. And she was talking about how there are families where discipline was not just from parents to like their female children. Siblings, particularly brothers, were allowed to beat their sisters.
Yeah, that's weird as hell.
Yeah, and it was considered like normal. And this is why you hear things like, you hear babes in their 20s, early 30s saying things like, no, my brother, like, they are actually afraid of.
They're afraid
it's not respect.
It's not respect. They don't want.
They know that their brothers can
offend because of consequences.
Yeah.
And I don't know. To be honest, this thing is so far from like a paradigm that I can recognize.
Girl,
because if they clearly tries
it is. I think it's just one of these.
We break.
It's such an abusive trend that you build, and I don't understand.
Yeah, and the other thing is, it will not be okay for anybody. Like there will be nobody saying, oh, forget. No, it's everybody will be on your head. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think that you, in this situation,
you're not doing enough.
Unfortunately for you,
your family thinks. You say something. Your parents don't rate you. I know it sounds awful.
So do you know the truth? Because they are not. It doesn't sound like they're pushing him to like make it right, apologize to you. They're like, no. We've seen who in this situation is a quote unquote nice person, and so what their plan is for you to be the one that makes it okay, because they know that he's not going to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you should allow that. Obviously, there's other dynamics that we might not know. Maybe you're even worried where he's going to live. I say he's a street fighter. Let him find out what's happening on the road, because I don't think this thing is going to change, like, unless you nip it in the bud completely. All these other people that are fighting for him, let them take him. Let them support him fully. Well,
yeah.
Tough times.
Hey, y'all. Hi, guys.
How you doing?
So,
girls.
MTN has something fantastic
Yes,
for
they do.
you guys.
Haji.
Yes. If you're someone that loves like streaming, like heavy duty.
4K.
Yeah, like you're a gamer.
HD.
You like watching all your like shows.
People are testing internet speed fast.
Yes. You listen to the podcast and you don't want to be
you don't want to be seeing things circling around on your screen.
Yes.
You want everything to load up and move quickly. Then what you need is MTN's 5G router.
Yes, you can get up to 1 gigabyte per second. Like,
yeah.
That is
111.
Like this. Boom. And you can play games, you can stream, you can do whatever you want. Like. But we personally suggest that you use it to listen to the greatest podcast on the planet.
On the planet.
Just
and it moves super quickly. Yeah. Once you just do like this, bam, you're in.
Yeah. Where can they find
you can get it at any MTN store or on the website.
shop.mtn.ng.
Yes.
Happy streaming, happy listening, happy playing,
happy 5G,
happy watching, happy MTN. God bless Nigeria.
Bye.
Bye.
There's something that you wanted to talk about.
Yes. So I saw a clip from Menizim's podcast where Oizame said,
shout out to Oizame.
Yeah,
I really like them.
I enjoy their content. Anyway, one of them said that morality is a privileged position. And I just kept thinking about it. And I was like, oh, ma.
How do you feel about it?
I feel, because the truth is that
in that context,
she said it in the context of what they were discussing. You guys can go and watch the clip. In the context of what they were discussing, I think she was right, because her point was more so, see, if you are poor, whatever, and like you don't have options, and there are things that are immoral that you can do to get by,
but not illegal,
but
immoral,
that are immoral, you will do them. So at first, I wanted to argue that, like, does that mean every poor person should now be? But yeah, right. We're not talking about illegalities. We're talking about things that are just immoral. So it was in the context of like, okay, you know, babes doing things with men for money, or, you know, guys just like, you know, things that are in the gray area. You've not please, I just want to say, I'm not talking about crimes. I'm not talking about stealing, doing Yahoo.
We're talking about things that we frown on.
There's no morality in your fraud.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that. It's because you're poor does not mean you should be a criminal. Like, that's not what I mean. We're talking about just things that are like a gray area. And it was the first time I honestly thought about that. My question was now, is it really a privileged position or not? I see how it is, to be fair. So I was just imagining if my back is against the wall completely, and the only way, or like not only way out, but the easiest way out is something that is not necessarily, it's not clear. Is a gray matter. It's is a bit iffy. I get it in that capacity, but then you also have a choice. So
this is the thing. I don't think she was excusing the fact that there is
no. She was just saying that, please, we have to also acknowledge.
Yes, because she kept saying that. Yeah, we know what we tell people, but there's the real.
But there's reality. Yeah.
There's the real. I think when it comes to the difficulty in thinking about morality as a privileged position is very often that same privilege makes it very difficult for you to understand what people are talking about.
Yeah.
So, if you're talking about like everybody's context is very different, right? But our inability to empathize or understand, I don't even want to call it empathy, just like it's an understanding that it doesn't mean you empathize with the person, just like, oh, I understand, I can see why you made this decision. I don't see myself making the same decision, but I understand how you got here. But what often happens is, to make ourselves feel better, we mix the two. So let me give you an instance. Somebody whose back is truly against the wall doesn't have the options or opportunities you're thinking about.
Yeah.
So the capacity for you to say, but I would do A, B, C, D, and E.
Those choices don't
exist for them.
But it's difficult for you to even understand what it is for your back to be against the wall. Yes. Because, like, frankly, what you think your back against the wall being is just not the
so a lot of time it's like enjoyment or lifestyle creep that people imagine, and that's why it makes it
not
hard.
survival.
People think of enjoyment and lifestyle creep as opposed to survival, right? So I think depending on the context, where you're able to start that conversation from is a privileged position. So let me give you an example. I remember when I first found out that there are teenagers whose parents pay for them to learn Yahoo.
What?
Yeah. There are teenagers whose parents learn. Like, they pay for them to learn fraud.
As an internship.
Their parents are the ones that take them to HK. They are the ones. Like, it's not IT. And it's like, there's an understanding. The family is, while you are going, your family is not just aware. It's like, you better know what you are doing because this is how we're going to survive as a family. It's not, that kid doesn't have very many options.
Yeah, but you see, that's where... So the thing is, it was interesting for me.
When I say teenager, I don't mean 17. I mean 13.
Because for me, for the most part, I agree. But then, I think the only issue I had with the statement was, where do you draw the line?
100%. But I think...
So here now, I think the line is far back from them. I'm sorry. Once you get things like fraud, we're not talking about grey matter anymore.
100%. But what is that...
Red.
100%. But what is that boy, that 13-year-old? So that's what I mean. That is not yet. I'm not talking about the parents.
Yes.
The parents are criminals.
For him.
But that boy, you cannot tell him.
He's a kid.
So that's what I mean. But you see other people will start saying things like, but if he can do that, he can learn to code.
So he's
like, guy,
he's a kid. Think about when you were 13.
You want him to fight his parents.
He's not going to.
Because of that.
He doesn't have the context of that.
What Disney movie are you watching?
He doesn't have the context of that. Like, let's be real.
That he ran away.
But at the same time, I honestly agree with the statement just on principle, but I think the challenge is where you draw the line.
And that's what I'm saying. I think when you it's not just about being old enough to know better and do better. It's why, like, we talk about inequality in society a lot. People need to have the options to make doing better, like, realistic. Do you understand what I mean? When you get to the point where someone's pickings are so slim and if there are places where you're inspired to perspire, it's not just misplaced, it's a little bit offensive. No, because it's just not really the context. But then, so I was briefly discussing this with someone else who I saw posted it. Yeah.
And then he was saying, so like, this applies, and it's very interesting that the way Nigeria is, because it applies and doesn't apply. He was like, for example, Nigerians, we always have this culture, everybody's one-upping everybody.
Yeah.
He's like, now, there's circumstances where you see someone trying to one-up someone that you're like, see, this thing is from me. A pure survivor. He made a joke that obviously this is a silly thing, but like, if you come from a house where you don't eat quickly, you don't eat.
Yeah.
Your general mentality. But he was like, now, let's extend that to the average person. The average Nigerian is trying to one up. What excuse do you have? You're just a wicked person. So we were just discussing that it's interesting because it does apply, and then in very many ways.
But I do think that
it doesn't.
The percentage of the population that it applies to is a lot slimmer than we would like to admit.
Yeah.
So that the idea that in this case morality is a privileged position applies to a much smaller.
It does, especially because if you're at the same general situation or level and you are like doing something to one up, it doesn't apply.
A lot of the times that has been, I've had a moral dilemma. The outcome has always been a more like, oh shit, as opposed to, but I could reframe it like I had no option. That's the truth. And because everybody really does what they, like, we're all selfish individuals when it boils down to it. In our retelling of the story, we never have an option.
Yeah.
But that's not true.
Yeah.
But from where, like, the girls were coming from, because I can't remember which tone it was that said it, but I do agree with her. It's just that the sample size.
Yeah, I just think honestly, I generally agree. I just think it makes for very, very interesting discussion. Like, if you think about it deeply.
I think it's also how I grew up.
Yeah, I think so. Because I never really considered it to be that. I just thought, well, obviously this is your default.
I remember the first time I went to my dad with this sort of dilemma, and he was like, you have to let the opportunity go, surely. And I was like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about? And he was like, yeah, like, this is...
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do. Like, this is unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. You can still make money. It just won't be this amount with this opportunity. And like, I guarantee you're going to feel foolish because they're going to give it to somebody else and get what they were asking for.
And also, it's not even the sort of stand that you make that anyone's clapping for you.
Yeah, nobody gives it.
You're a fool. The truth is that it's for your pockets.
Yeah,
for your pocket.
Yeah,
you're a fool. It's only you that knows your white has not stayed. Do you know what I mean? So, like, you just have to chest it that, okay, your morality is mostly for your pockets. That's just the truth of the matter. Like, nobody, I just feel like in this world, it's for your pockets. It's for your pockets. Yeah. It's very interesting. Another thing
very interesting
I found interesting is that I was listening to a podcast where the people on the podcast had fought before the podcast, before they recorded the podcast, and so they had fought the day before, and so they came on the podcast and they were both talking about they had a big fight. They were insulting themselves. From what it sounded like, it was not a disagreement. They had
all bets were off.
They had like cross boundaries, like people were annoyed. And so they were basically talking about like, I guess their reflections on, or, at this point, everybody has said sorry, whatever. And one of the guys was saying that he was telling his wife what happened. And she brought up an interesting thing of like, love supports you. Are the winner. But isn't it funny that your own side of the story, the other person should understand that your intentions are pure. The outside of the story, all the actions are wrong. So then they don't have intention.
Good intention, yeah. They don't have any intention.
Yeah, because the question you're asking was, but like, do you genuinely believe this person is coming from malice? Because what are you saying? You people are fighting now.
But do you know what's so interesting? We've had this discussion before. It's what has helped me a lot in terms of friendships.
Because you always have to consider like, okay, but what is the intention of this thing?
Yeah. Why this can surely, like, my friend can do a selfish thing, but a lot of times, not a lot of times, the few times that I've been like, I don't like what you did, and we had a discussion, they genuinely didn't think, the friendships that have survived, they genuinely didn't think that thing would bother me as much as it did. And they are very sorry. And not sorry with just mouth, like genuinely apologetic. And like it makes them anxious for a while as well. The insistence on starting from a place of malice can never end well.
Yeah.
It's how we move to like insults and scissors cutting off so quick.
Yeah, it's very quick. And I think it's just interesting because when you do things that are wrong, and like, it's so funny when you're having a conversation where it's like, I know I'm wrong, but then you've given yourself all this grace and understanding. It's so difficult to understand where the hell the other person is coming from. Because I'm like, you didn't come from anywhere.
Yeah.
You just did your own. Me, now, when I do bad things, there's always a reason.
Yeah.
I can explain everything to you, the context. I found it also very interesting because they're both like, according to them, both of them were correct.
Yeah.
But then...
Did they explain what the argument was about?
No, they didn't.
No. Okay.
But then seeing
trying to understand each other's
point of view, they all of a sudden, they did not understand the meaning of intention anymore. They did not know where the person was coming from again. But them... So they each explain what they did wrong and they explain why, how, the context. And it's like, it's so funny because if you ask me to do this thing for you, I can't do it. I just think what you did, a fucked up person and that's who you are.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's very interesting.
It has helped me a lot. I can't lie. Like just refusing to accept that people I know and care about are operating from a place of malice. In fact, actually, I have a better idea. Do you know that this thing, I can't talk too much, but we recently had like an issue where it was like, why are they behaving like this?
Yeah.
And out of annoyance, I went to my parents. I was like, these people who are working with, blah, 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 blah. And my dad was basically like, the truth is that what you're operating from he was trying to use style to call me stupid, in essence, but not in a bad way. He was trying to say that, okay, Jola, there is how they're behaving. But the thing is that so far, and that's when I asked you to get involved, that so far, you've been approaching this thing like you guys are friends.
Yeah, and you're not.
I'm not. So you are like, why would they be behaving like this? When I said, it's business, my darling. So they both, like, you guys need to approach it from a business standpoint in that, like, we need to get what's best for us.
Yeah.
Not, because I was saying no, because I just want us to come to a middle ground. I said, no, they don't want middle ground.
Do you know, let me not lie to you. I struggle with this thing a lot. I struggle with this thing
100%.
A lot. I'm not joking. All the time, because I'm always just like, okay, but there's a way to do things.
No, 100%. So what he was saying was that this attitude of when you start from, we need to come to a middle, from a business end, people see you as a mumu.
Yes.
But he said the truth about business is that you need to show them that, see, based on this business, I will, like, basically, I'll go to war about my business.
Yeah, but I just...
No, he said not even in a fight way. That just basically, like, you need to let them know that if people are not careful, I will chop your own and chop my own.
Yeah.
Because what happens is, like, especially when he's noticed that about creative people, that we don't, because our business is very personal, we're under the impression that the other business people are doing things personally. No, they need to go back and be able to say, in fact, we did more than was required.
Yeah, I'm honestly always shocked when people do certain things based on, and I know what they're doing, you're being a shark or whatever. And I'm just like, hey, yeah, I just like...
No, it wasn't really like I wouldn't even say eye-opening, but it was really like, oh, okay, because
this is what's going
genuinely, Fakemi got involved, and I said, oh, right. Like... Oh, right. Because up until then, it was a very like, oh, so sorry. Let's. And then I realized, no, it's I. which was very hard.
Actually not.
It's very hard.
It wasn't because you expect that, because we've,
And so far, like, it's been a very symbiotic, friendly.
And you realize that the symbiosis, everything is together until
it's not.
Until it's not.
Yeah, and it's something to learn. So in personal, I'm very big on extending. But I've learned that.
I'm learning this a lot, and it's just, I don't like this. I hate the idea of being like cutthroat, whatever. Look, the other day I sacked an entire team in my company, the whole team.
Really?
Yeah. I said everybody should go. And it was because it was a small thing that broke the camel's back.
Mm.
I gave an instruction. All of them ignored it. And I don't know. All these things have been happening. They've been happening. And I don't know why. It was almost like I was just like, oh, wait. Okay, so this is going to keep, the relationship we have, this, because the team is very important, there's just a sense of no. What will you do? Because technically without us,
not much is happening here.
I said, no problem. Let's see. And all of a sudden, everybody was, you don't understand. People were coming to me like, wow, this one, that one. and I still don't feel okay.
Yeah, but you have to.
But I was like, listen, and then even all these ones, I set on my severance, and my admin just said, ma, please, please. You've given them notice.
No, it's hard.
Which one is severance?
Do you know why this is? A friend of mine was talking about something that's happening in her company, and the shock of somebody being so badly behaved based on, I'm about to leave anyway. So they were trying to figure out what to do, how to handle it. And her boss, who basically, because their boss is very big on I want you to see this place as, yes, it's work, but I don't want you to have an antagonistic relationship with this place. People are taking the piss. And this guy just really exemplified everything about piss taking in the way he was handling. He was about to go. And so, basic stuff handover, I've been handling certain accounts and they have not been closed. I was catching up with her oh, this is your office thing. She said, and their boss sent email that I'm happy for this resignation and your new life that you're about to start. But these accounts, you can't leave them in this status. And basically said I know you've been going around the office with this attitude of, yeah, I'm going, whatever. I want you to understand. Basically, in corporate speak, I know you're a new employer. You don't want to try me. My friend said that the attitude of said person, wow.
All of a sudden, an improvement.
Deep, not improvement, so deep. That's not what oh, come off it. Come off it. That's not who said I'm living willy-nilly. No. I just want you guys to know that what I said was I'm going, but that I have every intention of making sure I leave the place with a bow. She said she couldn't believe it. And it was just that thing of, she knows that her boss feels bad, but why do we have
That's the problem.
Get here?
Every time I'm always okay, why
do we have to get here?
We have to be, I don't know, I don't like it at all. So that's just the point. But what I realize is, especially in this environment, try all this open door.
You will close it.
You will close it. That your door, you will too close it. So,
Anyway, guys.
Lovely time.
This has been deeper than...
It's hard.
Why do we always do this?
I don't know.
Why do we do this?
That's why it's always good to have guests. Because I don't know what we're always discussing.
Someone told me that his friend sent a message being Omo, Jola, they think. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, guys, you know what to do. Like and subscribe. Leave comments. Now you can leave comments. If you listen on Spotify, you can leave comments.
That's fun.
I love that. So please do that. Whatever. See you soon. Goodbye.
Bye. Hello, boys and girls.
No hello.
Okay.
No hello for them.
Okay.
This is not for
boys and girls only.
Boys and girls. I want to ask you a simple question.
Very simple.
Why are 40-something% of you that watch this thing not subscribed?
Very good.
Is it fair?
Very good.
Is it
other
good?
People's channels that you don't listen to every week, you subscribe to them.
Free
Look at what we do for you.
Do you pay? You come here, we make fools of ourselves every week.
Having a great time. Subscribe early. I don't understand it.
Why would you do that?
Is it right?
No. In case you don't know, no, it's not right. Okay, so now you see that button. Nobody will beat you. Okay, do you know what? You can even cover.
Do it in a shy,
Do it
like
in a shy
mysterious way.
So nobody will.
Just, oh my God.
Click on the subscribe.
Oh my God.
That's all. God
Just
bless
a light
you.
one. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.